नारायणसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सुखं नित्यं स्वप्रकाशं व्यापकं नाम रूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धिर्दृग्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्तवेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यदिति मे निश्चिता मतिः। We are seeing the resolutions of the doubt which were told by Purva Pakshi, and in the 45th avarta the Siddhanti is showing that the cause of all the miseries is Ajnanam and the Prapancha, which is the Karyam of Ajnanam. And initially the Chandogya Upanishad was quoted, and now what is conveyed by that is being told. Atra ayam arthaha. In this context, this is the meaning. Sakala kalabhignyah api naradaha atmanam shokakrantam eva apashyat. So the Naradji, who was the knower of all the aspects of disciplines of knowledge, and here Sakala Kala can be 64 disciplines of knowledge, 18 disciplines of knowledge, or 14 disciplines of knowledge. They are 4 Vedas, 6 Vedangas, Mimamsa, Nyaya, Purana and Itihasa are 1, and Dharma Shastra means Smriti. So this makes 14. And if we tell 18, then the other 4 will be 4 Upangas. Upavedas. Which are? Upavedas. Yes, Upavedas. Which are Gandharva Shastra, Sthapatya Shastra, Artha Shastra and Ayurveda. So Naradji, who was even the knower of all these disciplines of knowledge, was seeing oneself as being possessed by sorrow. Then Nisheshataha Shokataranam cha Atmajnanat na Anyataha Bhavati iti Shrutavancha. And Naradji had also heard that the complete or crossing over this sorrow completely is not there by any other means other than Atmajnanam, the knowledge of the self. Tataha cha Atmanaha Shoka Nidana Jnana Nivruttaye Atmajnana Labhaya cha Sanat Kumaram Apracha Tamma Bhagavan Shokasya Param Tarayatu iti. Tataha, and therefore Naradji asked the teacher Sanat Kumara, what did he ask? O Lord, please make that me cross over to the other shore of sorrow. And for what purpose? For the purpose of the removal of the avidya, which is the cause of all the pains for oneself, and for the attainment of Atmajnanam. And then Sahacha Aneka Sadhanopadeshanantaram Shoka Shunyam Aparichinnam Niratishaya Sukha Swarupam Bhumanam Upadishya Tataha Anyat Sarvam Drashya Jatam Parichinnam Dukkham Eva Iti Bhuma tu Brahma Eva Iti Cha Avochata. Saha means the teacher Sanat Kumarji, after teaching or after giving the teaching of the means of the various means for Brahma Jnanam, and then having taught the Bhuma, the limitless, which is Shoka Shunyam, free from any sorrow, which is Aparichinnam, limitless, and which is Niratishaya Sukha Swarupam, which is of the nature of unsurpassable happiness. That Bhumanam having taught, after that the teacher said that all the objectifiable or multitude of objectifiables are limited, and they are of the nature of sorrow alone, whereas Bhuma alone is Brahma. In this manner the teacher told. तथा च मूलाज्ञानतत्कार्यभूतदृश्यप्रपञ्चमात्रस्य ब्रह्मणः अन्यत्वात् तदेव अत्र सकलदुःखनिदानम् इति उक्तं भवति. So here and thus this stands to be told. And what is it? Since the entire Drashya Prapancha means the entire objectifiable world, which is in the form of effect of that Mula Vidya, fundamental ignorance, is different from Brahma. Therefore, that Mula Vidya Sahita Prapanchaha alone is here the cause of all the pains, all the sorrows. And तादृश दुःख निदानस्य द्वैत प्रपंचस्य मूलाज्ञानसहितस्य नेति नेति इत्यादि श्रुत्युक्तरीत्या स्वरूपतः निवृत्तौ सत्याम् एव निखिल दुःखानां निःशेषतया नियमेन निवृत्तिः उपपद्येत. And as a matter of rule, the removal of all the dukkha's entirely would be possible or would arise when there is removal of the Dvaita Prapancha along with the Mula Vidya, and that Dvaita Prapancha which is the cause of Tadrasha Dukkha means Sakala Dukkha, all the Dukkhas in terms of name and form by the Shruti, such as Neti Neti, this is not Brahma, this is not Brahma. Tasmat निःशेष दुःख निवृत्तये समूला ज्ञान प्रपंच निवृत्ति रूपे मोक्ष लक्षण विशेषणामंशे जायेत एव इच्छा, and we add vivekinah mumukshoho. Therefore, the desire for the discriminative seeker of freedom would be born with regard to the adjectival aspect in the definition of moksha, which is in the form of the removal of the world along with fundamental ignorance for the purpose of removal of the dukkha completely. So here what the idea conveyed is that from Chandogya Upanishad Shruti we understand that which is Bhuma is Sukham, and that which is not Bhuma is Dukkham, means is cause of Dukkha. And this Maya Sahita Prapancha is not Bhuma, therefore it is the cause of Dukkha. And earlier in the 44th Avarta, it was established that a person would have a desire to remove the cause of dukkha because he has the desire to remove all the dukkha completely. And therefore here, based on this Chandogya Shruti, we understand that the person will have the desire to remove the entire Jagat along with Mula Vidya because it is the cause for dukkha. And we also saw the Tippani number 1 on page 28. There, the Tippanikara says that for everybody, the desire for the removal of world along with fundamental ignorance would be born. With regard to this statement, one doubt would be born. And what is that? It is said that for anybody, the desire with regard to the thing which has been experienced earlier alone would be born, and not with regard to the thing which has not been experienced earlier. And it is further said that for a mumukshu, there is no earlier experience with regard to the removal of the world along with Mula Vidya, which which will happen by the intimate appreciation of its adhishthanam, which is in the form of Brahma. And therefore, for anybody, the desire for removal of this Samula Jnana Prapancha would not be born. So this is the doubt. And that is answered now that that is not so. Why? Because of the absence of the rule. And what is the rule? The rule that the desire would be born with regard to the earlier experienced entity alone. That rule is not there. And why? That is now explained. If that rule was there, then the desire with regard to the, the eating which was done earlier would be again born. But that does not happen. But what happens is that the desire with regard to another food which is similar to the food which was experienced or eaten earlier is born. And this is the rule. And thus, there is no scope for the doubt which was raised earlier. And the explanation follows. Just as the rope is the adhishthanam for the superimposed snake, similarly, Brahma is the adhishthanam for the superimposed world along with Mula Vidya. And thus, there is similarity with regard to being the adhishthanam on the part of rope and Brahma. So this is the first similarity. Next, also there is mutual similarity between the removal of snake, of the superimposed snake, etc., and of the removal of the world along with Mula Vidya. Thus, there is the second similarity is between the both type of removal. And now it is said that for the mumukshu, the experience with regard to the removal of snake, etc., by the clear understanding of the adhishthanam in the form of Rajju, etc., was earlier there. Means that for the mumukshu, the experience of this removal of the superimposed by the clear understanding of the substratum is definitely there. And tataha, therefore, for that mumukshu, the desire with regard to the removal of the world along with the fundamental ignorance which is caused by the intimate appreciation of Brahma, and that Brahma which is in the form of the adhisthana of the entire objectifiable world would be definitely born. And for this desire nivrutti, for this nivrutti, an adjective is given. That nivrutti which is similar to the removal of the snake. Thus, it is shown that how the desire with regard to this removal would be born because there is a earlier experience of some removal which is similar to this particular removal.
So here we are seeing the answers to the objections raised by Purvapakshi. And one objection was that person will not have desire for the removal of the world along with ignorance. And whenever we say removal of the world, in Siddhanti's view, removal is not the physical removal. Na pratitihi tayobadaha kintu mithyatva nishchaya. So non-perception is not really meant by us when we say nivritti. Even though Purvapakshi may think like this. But in the view of Siddhanti, the prapancha nivritti is in the form of the negation of prapancha. And of course, videha mukti kale, when videha mukti is there, prapancha is not there for the person because the very pramata is gone. Therefore, no more experience of prapancha for that person. When that person is gone, that's what the perception of the person is gone. So perceivables are gone. So in that sense, nivritti is what is called in literal sense. But when we talk about jivan mukti, we mean prapancha nivritti in the form of negation of the reality of the world. Because we have been talking about Jagan Nivritti, so we may think that Vedanti wants to make the world disappear. Or Vedanti wants to destroy the world. Even if he wants, he cannot. So here Nivritti should be understood in proper way. And in the 45th Avarta, based on the Bhuma Vidya, it was said that Brahma alone is Sukha Swarupa, Alpa is Dukkha Swarupa. And everything, entire Dvaita Prapancha is Alpa. And Dvaita Prapancha Karana Bhuta Avidya also comes under Alpa. Anything other than that, Brahman. Other than Brahman also we saw yesterday. Other is not really separately existing. But Ajnanam is not the Swarupam of Brahman. Jagatva is not the Swarupam of Brahman. In that sense, Jagat and Ajnanam are said to be different from Brahman. And they, being anything which is different, is Alpam. And Yad Alpam Tad Dukkham. And therefore the entire Prapancha is Dukkha Rupa or Dukkha Karanam. And therefore, this person who wants to be free from Dukkha completely, he will have desire for the negation, removal of the world along with its cause. Even though he is not directly interested in removing the Jagat and Jagat Amula Jnana. He is interested in removing Dukkha only. But he wants to remove Dukkha completely. And therefore, whatever is required for removing the Dukkha completely, he is interested in removing that. Whatever needs to be removed to remove the Dukkha completely, he will be okay with that. Not only okay, he wants to do that. Like doctor says that you are having this problem because of this part of the body. And if you remove that part, your problem will be solved. He said, okay. And he said, there is no other solution. Gallbladder, etc., they remove. It's creating problem. So similarly, when a person is exposed to Shastra and he understands that Dvaitam is creating Dukkha for me, and when Dvaita Nivritti happens, then only Dukkha Nivritti is complete. Then he will be interested in that. So it's like a informed desire. It is a desire of an informed person. Ordinary people will not be directly interested in Jagan Nivritti. They want to change the world. They want to change the setup of the world. But those who are Viveki, who have some exposure of Shastra, they will have the desire for Dvaita Nivritti. Alright. Now, Dvitiya Akshepasya Samadhanam is given. And Dvitiya Akshepa, the second objection itself is restated by this Siddhanti while giving the answer. So that by chance we have forgotten the objection also, no problem. So we 2-3 classes, in between have gone, and in between holidays also. So all this what is called nyunata, all this lacuna is made up by restatement. Yattu uktam prag anubhutasya eva vastunah prapticha jayate brahmanah tu kenapi ananubhutapurvatvat tat prapti rupe mokshasya dvitiyamshe na kasyapi ichha jayeta iti. The second part of the objection was that not only Visheshana Amshe, the Visheshana Amsha of Moksha, which is Dvaita Nivritti, in that people will not have any interest, that was answered. Now second is Visheshya Amsha. Moksha has got two aspects. The Ajnana Sahita Dvaita Nivritti, one aspect. Second is Paramananda Swarupa Brahma Prapti. So now the second aspect of moksha is focused. And thus restated, the objection is restated, Yattu Uktam. And what was told by you, Purupakshi, what? Prag Anubhutasya eva vastunaha prapti ichha jayate. Ichha, desire, prapti, for attainment. Desire for the attainment is born, jayate. Only for vastuna, only for a thing which is prag anubhutasya eva, which is experienced earlier. So desire of attainment is born only for that thing which is experienced earlier. We have seen that we don't have desire for something which we don't know. Janati ichchati karoti. And brahmanaha tu. So first point Purupakshi said that desire will be there only for something experienced, something known. Whereas brahmanaha tu kenapi ananubhuta purvatpat. Whereas Brahman is not experienced earlier by anyone. Especially Mumukshu, he has not experienced. If he has experienced, if he has understood Brahman, he would not desire for the knowledge of Brahman. So, kenapi ananubhuta purvatva. Ananubhuta means not experienced. Purva, earlier. Brahman is not experienced by anyone earlier. And therefore, tat prapti rupe mokshasya dvitiyamshe na kasyapi ichha jayate. And therefore, kasyapi, for anyone, ichha, desire for what? Tat prapti rupe mokshasya dvitiyamshe. The desire for the second aspect of moksha. And what is the second aspect of moksha? Tat prapti rupe, in the form of the attainment of Brahman. For anyone, there will not be desire. For anyone, desire will not be born for the second aspect of moksha, which is in the form of attainment of Brahman. In simple words, nobody will have the desire for attainment of Brahman. Why? Because nobody has experienced Brahman. And unless something you have experienced, how can you have desire for something? So this was the objection, very solid objection. And for that Siddhanta says, Tat Asat. That is not proper. Your objection is not proper, it is based on improper, insufficient thinking. Now he tells that why it is not proper. Sarvehi sukhasya anubhutatvat sarvesham tatra ichha jayate. Siddhanti puts a very fundamental things. Sarvehi sukhasya anubhutatvat. By everybody, happiness is experienced. That's a very great thing. Nobody can say, I have never experienced happiness in my life. However miserable life a person has, but some experience of happiness will be there. At least sleep, that also is going to be highlighted. So person felt happy. I was slept, Swamiji. They were harassing. I was suffering. I slept. I was so happy. Happiness experience everybody has. That Puja Swamiji is a window for us. The experience of happiness is a window for us to know what Brahman can be, what Atma can be. It gives a glimpse. So, sarvehi sukhasya anubhutatvat sarvesham tatra means sukhe. Everybody has the desire. Sarvesham tatra ichha jayate. For everybody, desire with regard to happiness is born. And Brahmanaha cha nitya niratishay sukha swarupatvena sarva vedanta prasiddhatvat. And Brahman is very well known in all Vedantas. Even paperback knowledge person has got about Vedanta. Brahman is known as what? Nitya Niratishaya Sukha Swarupatvena. Brahman is well known in all Vedanta as the one having the nature of Sukha, happiness, which is unsurpassable, permanent. In fact, this is the minimum thing we think about Brahman. That Brahman is Anandam. Ishvara is Ananda. Even those who want to attain Ishvara, they think of Ishvara as what? Happiness only. Ananda Swarupa only. Not that, oh, Ishvara is very miserable and all. Miserable Ishvara nobody wants to have. Ananda Ishvara only everybody wants to have. So, Brahma, which is sometimes called Ishvara, is well known as Ananda. And that too maximum Ananda. And therefore what? Sadhana chatushtaya sampannasya uttamādhikāriṇah sukhasvarupa brahma prapti cha jayeta eva. Therefore, because of these two things, everybody wants happiness and Brahman is unsurpassable happiness. Therefore, everybody wants Brahman. It's a simple thing. Very two simple things are presented as the basis. It is something like this person likes sweet and this dish is sweet. Therefore, this person would like to have this dish. This is as simple as that. And therefore, sadhana chatushtaya sampanna uttamadhikari. Uttamadhikari who is sadhana chatushtaya sampanna. And when we say sadhana chatushtaya sampanna, he or she has got sufficient exposure to Vedas in general. And in Vedas, he will read this sentence, Anandam Brahma. And therefore, he knows that Brahman is present in Ananda. That much Sanskriti knows to connect this Anandam Brahma. Even person doesn't know much Sanskrit, Brahman and Ananda, yes, Anandam Brahma together. Therefore, what? Brahma is Ananda and I want Ananda. And Brahman is what type of Ananda? Nitya Ananda. Because it is said Anantam. So it is Anantam Anandam. And therefore, person will have desire for Sukha Swarupa Brahma Prapti Icha. The person will have desire for the attainment of Brahman, which is of the nature of Sukham, happiness, fullness. Jayeta Eva would definitely have the desire for it. So the answer that Brahman is not experienced by anybody and therefore person will not have desire for Brahma because the desire is always for experience one. That question is answered. Why? Everybody wants happiness. Therefore, Brahman will be the object of desire. Alright. Then next objection is answer. Tritiya-kshepasya samadhanam. The answer to the third objection. And what was the objection?
Swamiji, Tippani.
Oh, good, yes. Yadi ananubhuta samanye ichha jayeta iti niyamah. If there is a rule that desire will be born with regard to the things experience in general. Means specific thing might not have been experienced, but a thing is experienced in general. Like particular sweet I might not have experienced, but I have experienced sweet in general, and I have desire for sweet. And somebody tells only this much, that this item is sweet, I will have desire. So rule is what? That you will have desire for something only when there is experience of the category of that object. The anubhuta samanya ichha jayeta iti niyamah, or it's anubhuta samanya. Purvapakshi, if he is making the rule, it is slightly different. That Purvapakshi says that whatever is experienced, that is desired. He is putting more fundamentally. So Siddhanta is telling to Purvapakshi, you are making such a rule that whatever is experienced, Anubhuta Samanya means experience in general, not even sweet, just experience, more fundamentally. Anubhuta Samanya means anything experienced in general, just experience. The rule Purvapakshi we may propose is anything experience, there will be desire for that. He says, Yadi Anubhuta Samanya Ichha Jayeta iti niyamaha. If there is a rule that there is desire for something which is experienced in general, Tarhi. He said, if you make such an extensive rule, Siddhanta is telling, if you make such an extensive rule, Yad Anubhutam Tad Ichha Vishaya, Sa Ichha Vishaya. That's what. If you make such rule, then there will be a big problem. What? Tarhi Purvanubhute Pratikule Roga Tan Nimitta Dukkha cha Ichha Padyeta. He is telling, Purvapakshi is telling exactly different thing. That if you say Purvapakshi was trying to give the rule Anubhute Ichha. So Siddhanti is little bit, even though Purvapakshi also did not mean this, but to make Purvapakshi see the fallacy in his thinking, Siddhanti is dealing with it very fundamentally. First of all, don't say that Yad Anubhutam Tat Yad Yaha Anubhutaha Saha Ichha Vishaya. Don't say like this. Why? If you say like this, then what will happen? Purvani bhute pratikule roga tannimitta dukkhadocha ichha padyeta. There will be desire for the pratikula. Pratikula means unfavorable. Roga, disease, and tannimitta dukkha. The misery caused by that disease, which was purvanubhuta, which was experienced earlier. With reference to that also, ichha padyeta. So there will be desire for the disease and the disease based all misery also. Why it is anubhuta? So Siddhanta is showing the fallacy in the line of thinking more fundamentally. That if you say that anything experienced will have desire, then dukkha also you would experience. Roga also is experience. Roga based the difficulty, discomfort you would experience. Roga based loss of finance, that also you would experience. You will have desire for that. Natu tatha loke drishyate. But in the world, it is not seen in that manner. Something miserable you had experienced, you will not have, no, I have to. फिर से देख लेते हैं कैसा है. नहीं होता है ऐसा. Nobody he said something. I don't want to even think about it. Oh, this in which place person had misery, he doesn't want to go to that place also. That much hatred is there. So just because something is experienced, he will not have desire. Natu tatha loke drishyate. That anything experienced person will have desire. That rule is not there. In that case, dukkha also person will desire. It is not the case. Tasmat Anukule praganu bhuta sukha tat sadhana jatiye eva ichha jayate iti eva niyamaha. Now Siddhanta is refining the rule. Say anubhute eva ichha iti niyamana. But tasma, therefore means because of the contradiction they showed. Therefore anukule, that which is favorable, and Prag Anubhuta Sukha Tat Sadhana Jatiye Eva. With regard to something which is similar to, Sajatiya means similar to, of the same category. Similar to what? Sadhana. This means for what? Means for Sukha. One will have desire for the Sukha which was experienced earlier and the sadhana for that Sukha experienced earlier. So we have two desires. Prag Anubhuta Sukhe and Tat Sadhana Sajatiye. So we will have desire for something similar to the happiness. Sajatiye can go with both. We can have desire for something similar to the happiness we experience and also desire for something similar to the means of happiness we had employed. Is it clear? So what he wants to say that we don't have desire for all the experience things. We have desire for the Sukha experience or the similar the Sukha and Sukha sadhana which are similar to what we had experienced earlier. Means I experience the happiness from music. So I will have desire for this happiness which is similar to the happiness I experienced. So same happiness cannot come, it is gone. I will have desire for the happiness which is similar to the happiness I had from that experience. And I will have desire for music also, which is similar to the means I had adopted earlier. So I will have desire for Sukha and I have desire for the Sukha sadhana, which are similar to what I had experienced earlier. So he wants to say that Anubhuta Samanya Ichha na jayate. Kintu Anukule Anubhuta Sukha Tat Sadhane or Tat Sadhana Sajati eva Ichha jayate. Iti eva niyama. So Siddhanti refined the rule. Don't say merely experienced object is the object of desire. Only the Anukula object, Anukula experience is the object of desire. Alright. Now he comes to the main thing. Brahmananda Pratibimba Bhutam Vaishaikam Sukham tu Sarvanubhava Siddham. He says Vaishaikam Sukham, the happiness born of objects, which is what? Pratibimba Bhutam, which is in the form of reflection of Brahmananda, is Sarvanubhava Siddham, is Prasiddham, is well known to all, in all experience. Sarvanubhava Siddham, it is established for all by experience. Sarvehi Anubhavena Siddham, Prasiddham. It is well known by to all through experience. Means it is experientially well known to all. Sarvanubhava Prasiddham is what? It is experientially well known to all. What? Vaishaikam Sukham. The objective happiness, happiness which seems to come from the objects, Vishayananda is known to everyone. And what is this Vishayananda? Is Pratibimba of Brahmananda. And now Siddhanti wants to say, if you have got the experience of Pratibimba, you can have desire for Bimba. Like you see the picture of someone, looks very nice. So you would like to see the person. So Pratibimba, you are seeing this picture of the person, you will have desire to know the person. Is it desire to experience the person? Or from distance you are seeing only the reflection, not the original. Then also you can have desire. Oh, whose reflection is so great, how that person must be. I would like to see. Sometimes it is possible you can see only reflection of the person. Person you may not be able to see. Then you would like to see the original. And so that is said here. Tatahacha. And therefore, Tatsajatiya Bimba Bhuta Nitya Niratishaya Advitiya Brahmanande Sarvesham Ichha Jayeta Eva. And therefore, since Vishayananda, the happiness associated with the objects, which is the Pratibimbananda, which is the Pratibimba of Brahmananda. It is experientially well known to everyone. Therefore, the desire for the Bimbananda, which is Brahma, will be there. That's what I said here. Tat Sajatiya. Tat Sajatiya referred to Vaishayika Sukha Sajatiya. Similar to that Vaishayika Sukha. And Bimba Bhuta, which is in the form of the original. And what is that? Nitya Niratishaya Advitiya Brahmananda. Ananda, which is Brahma, which is non-dual, which is Niratishaya, unsurpassable, which is Nitya, permanent. So the Bimba, which is Nitya Niratishaya Advitiya Brahmananda, and which is similar because Pratibimba and Bimba are considered to be similar. So person has got the Bimbananda, he has got the experience of Bimbananda, and therefore he will have desire for, person has got experience of Pratibimbananda, so he will have a desire for knowing, owning up Brahmananda. So one more way of seeing that why person can have desire for Brahman. So the objection raised by you that experience was not there, therefore desire will not be there, that was answered. What is the answer? That person has got the experience of the Pratibimba of Brahmananda, therefore he will have desire for Bimba Bhuta Brahmananda. That is the answer in simple words. Alright. Now, third one, Tritiya Akshepasya Samadhana. So Tritiya Akshepa also is restated and that is answered. Yat tavat avihitam, and what was told by you, Purvapakshi. What was told? Sarvaha api lokaha vishendriya sanyogaja sukhameva vanchiti. This is one of the strong objections. Everybody, sarvaha api lokaha, all people, vanchati, desire, what? Vishaya indriya sanyogaja sukham eva. The happiness born of the contact between the objects and organs. Like music born happiness, then delicious dish born happiness. Everybody wants only Vishendriya Sanyoga Janya Sukha. Maybe person may have desire for divine object. Means I will see the divine form of the Lord. That is possible. In fact, that is the obsession, that is the basis for obsession for Dvaita and Vishishtadvaita. Because the desire for Vaishayika Sukham is so powerful that even in moksha they want to bring in that. Therefore they imagine their moksha where Vaishayikam Sukham is retained. So therefore their moksha is what? You go to some loka and you experience Ishvara. So I want to see God. The ordinary people I have seen, they are not so interested. I want to see divine form. And therefore, this moksha also they will think like this in terms of Vaishayikam Sukham. So first of all, Purvapaksha very strongly says that everybody wants Vishaya Sukham. Whether everybody wants or not, at least Purvapakshi wants that only. Because we say no sometimes. Somebody, everybody likes it. Suppose something item is to be made, he thinks that this should be made. What? Somebody, everybody likes it. Don't say everybody. You like it, that's okay. So, Purvapakshi says everybody wants Vishaya Sukham. And Nahi etadasti moksha. And it is definitely not there in moksha. Your moksha. Purvapakshi is telling, in your moksha, this Vishaya Sukham will not be there. Why? He gives the reason. Advitiyatvat mokshasya. Because your moksha is Advitiya Brahma Swarupa. Moksha is Brahma Swarupa. And Brahman is Advitiya. Therefore, Advitiyatvat. Moksha is that where second entity does not remain. And Dvaita prapanchayattatvat Vishaya Sukhasya. And the objective happiness is dependent upon the dualistic world. Means what? What is the idea by these two sentences? Moksha is Advitiya Swarupa and Vishaya Sukha require Dvaitam. Therefore, moksha cannot have Vishaya Sukha. Vishaya Sukha is dependent upon Dvaita Prapancha and Dvaita Prapancha is not possible in moksha, your moksha. Therefore, Vishaya Sukha is not there in your moksha. Alright. Ataha, therefore, Adhikarinaha mumukshoho abhavat. Therefore, there is absence of adhikari, qualified person, who is mumukshu, desire, seeker of freedom, abhavat, absence. Since there is no such mumukshu, the type of moksha which you are talking about, nobody would like to have. Means, you will not get even a single mumukshu. And if he is not a mumukshu, he is not a adhikari. Therefore what? Adhikarinaha mumuksho abhavat. Therefore means what? Because of two reasons. Everybody wants Vishaya, the three reasons. Everybody wants Vishaya Sukha, and in moksha there is Advaita, and Vishaya Sukha is dependent upon Dvaita. Therefore, this is the meaning of Ataha. Therefore, Adhikari Mumukshu, qualified person in the form of seeker of freedom, Abhavat, not being there, Grantha Rambaha Nirarthakaha. The starting of the Grantha, initiating the activity of writing the book, Nirarthakaha, is useless. Why? Customer Abhavat. So there is no buyer, there is no taker, as they say. There is no taker for moksha. Iti abhihitam. That abhihitam should go with that. Iti yat abhihitam. In this manner, what was told. Okay. Up to this is Purvapakshi. Now Siddhanti. Tatra asti tavat prashtabhyam. With regard to that objection which you have read, Siddhanti is speaking now. With regard to that, tavat, first of all, prashtabhyam asti. There is something to be asked. Siddhanti is telling, when you are talking like this, something remains to be asked. Something is there to be asked to you. So you please listen what we have to ask you. Kim mumukshuhu eva nasti kaschid api iti uchyate uta sati api mumukshahu mumukshaha sati api mumukshahu should not be mumukshayam sati api mumukshahu should not be sati api
Gurau. Gurau.
मुमुक्षौ सति अपि मुमुक्षौ तस्य ग्रंथे प्रवृत्ति एव न जायेत इति. So two options are given. First of all, Siddhanti says, what do you mean that grantha arambha niraka, because adhikari mumukshu is not there? For that he says, kim mumukshu eva nasti, whether mumukshu itself is not there, kaschidapi, anyone. Whether any mumukshu itself is not there, this is what you mean. Kim kaschidapi mumukshu eva nasti, any seeker of freedom itself is not there. That is what you iti uchyate. In this manner it is told by you. When you are raising the objection with regard to the beginning of the text, saying that there is no adhikari, do you mean to say that mumukshu itself is not there? First. Uta, or the second thing we will ask. Sati api mumukshav. Even though there is a mumukshu, tasya granthe pravrutti na jayeta. His activity with regard to the text will not be born. Means there can be a mumukshu, but mumukshu will not have desire for this grantha. He will do something, he will do some bhakti, he will do some seva, etc. But he will not be interested in the grantha. Because your grantha will give that type of moksha which he doesn't want. And therefore, granthe pravrutti na syat. Mumukshu syat. Kintu mumukshoho ग्रंथे भवदुक्त ग्रंथे और भवता आरभ्यमाणे ग्रंथे प्रवृत्ति न स्यात् इति. These two options are raised by Siddhanti. Na adyaha. Siddhanti says first possibility is not there. That no mumukshu is possible. That is not correct. Why? Sarva samanya sarvesham atyantika dukkha nivruttau nitya niritishaya sukha vaptau cha ichha darshanat. The Siddhanti is using what has been told earlier. He says what you said, the first option is not correct. Why? Because of darshana, because of the observation of ichha, desire. Means everybody has desire. With regard to what? Sarvesham, everybody has this desire. What? Atyantika dukkha nivruttau. Everybody has desire for removal of, complete removal of dukkha. Anybody you interview and ask, do you want dukkha? He will say no. When do you want to be free from dukkha? All the time. So, atyantika dukkha nivruttau ichha darshanat. And nitya niritishaya sukhavapto ichha darshanat. Also there is a desire for the attainment of permanent unsurpassable happiness. Because otherwise you need more, always you want something more. So if you ask them, do you want 5 minutes of happiness or 10 minutes? बोले कि उससे भी ज्यादा है क्या? Is there anything more than that? 5 minutes, 10 minutes. He always say more. Is there anything more? Anything more? और वो भी तो आपको फ्री दे रहे तब पूछेगा प्राइस है तो नहीं है बट अदरवाइज आपको you can get free happiness. How much do you want? You say how much maximum available. So that's what everyone wants, maximum unsurpassable happiness. Nitya niritishaya sukhavapto ichha darshana. Generally, person is very busy solving the problem. But if he gets some time to think, he will be able to see that really what I want, happiness which doesn't go away. The happiness which is not subject to improvement. That's what he wants. Alright. And therefore what? Your first option is not correct. Further he explains, Nishesha dukkha dvamsa purvaka nitya niriteshya sukhasya eva moksha rupatva. So Siddhanti's stand is very simple. Everybody wants to be free from dukkha completely. Everybody wants permanent, unsurpassable happiness. And that is what moksha is. That's what he says. Nishesha dukkha dvamsa purvaka nitya niratishaya sukhasya eva moksha rupatvat. And nitya niratishaya sukha, permanent, unsurpassable happiness preceded by the complete removal of or complete destruction of dukkha itself is moksha swarupa. Itself is in the form of moksha. You do not know that moksha is like this, therefore you are rejecting. And generally, I give this example that when you are eating, in a queue, in a line, in Pangat, there is a big feast is there, big program, and you are seated in this line, and then somebody is coming, dal, 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 dal. You don't want dal. And then somebody is without saying anything, he is serving. And you think these also will be some rasam only. So you said, jane do. But then you, after 3-4 person he is serving, he is payasam. Then what? You call him back. So you reject moksha, thinking that moksha is like this. But really, moksha is something which you have been wanting all along. That is what is said here. That everybody has desire for dukkha nivrutti and sukha prapti. And that is what the nature of moksha is. Nishesa dukkha dvamsa purvaka nitya niratishaya sukhaseva moksha rupatvat. Therefore what? Na adyaha. And tasmat sarve api mumukshava eva. He goes to other extreme. He said all are mumukshu only. This is Purvapakshi was telling you no mumukshu. He said everybody is mumukshu. Because everybody wants dukkha nivrutti sukha prapti, and that is what moksha is. Everybody is really interested in moksha only. This is we highlight. When we talk about moksha, we said this is what everybody wants. Then why you are calling some people as mumukshu? Because mumukshu we are defining as those who are conscious or who are deliberate about what they want, who are clear about what they want. That much is the difference. Otherwise, everybody is mukshu. That we'll see next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha.
Hari Om.